Okay. So, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. This is Spicy Pepper Plays. Welcome to the channel, guys. This is gonna be a little bit of a guide and tutorial for new players to Enshrouded. So, even though you guys can see that I have like four different characters going on my personal private server for Enshrouded at the moment, but for all intents and purposes, I'm going to be creating a new character, but I'm not going to be starting a whole new game because then that would wipe out the fact that I still have all four of my higher level characters sitting on my private server. So let's get started with this uh tutorial guide and kind of walkthrough, and this will be going up on my YouTube channel. So I'll have that sort of scheduled and ready to be posted maybe for the next day or so. So keep your eyes peeled for that one, guys. But let's get into this. So we're gonna be creating a new character. So okay, this is what we have to work with here. So you can play using either mouse and keyboard, or if you're more uh, used to and in tune with using controller, you can for sure and totally run with using controller as well. So they have different character presets here that you can also sort of take a look at and scroll through, sort of choose what kind of character preset character look you want to go with. You can either go with like, well, they have like both male and female preset characters with different hairstyles, different facial hairstyles as well, different colored hairstyles for like females and males. Let's see. For now, I think we're gonna go with this one. Hairstyle. Um, well, these are mostly all of the preset hairstyles. Let's see. Which hairstyle do I want to go with? I think fast. I think I'm gonna try going with this one, with the sort of dreaded, the dreadlock sort of ponytail kind of hairstyle. So choose that. We're gonna go. I think that's black, even though it shows it to be like a sort of light or dark green kind of color. Then this is like the brightest hair color that they have, or you can just go full white, sort of albino. Uh, this hair color yet, so I think we're gonna go with that. Um, beards. I think we'll just have him go with like sort of very light, sort of hippie chin dusting. For some reason, it's not playing the different voice samples. I don't, oh, that's why. There we go. That's why it was weird. Oh. These ones. Most of these ones on the top here are male. And all of these ones are the male voice sounds. I'm gonna go with the gruffer sounding games. Oh, no. Rename actually. I'm not gonna go with anything too complex or weird. I think for now I'm just gonna go with quick and simple, like maybe Marauder. But because the keyboard doesn't, for some weird reason, doesn't pull up for me with controller, I had to kind of temporarily pull out my keyboard and sort of type that. Firm. And so these are the different choice selections they allow you to go with. So if you want to play by yourself and no one else, you can do a private game. If you want to play a kind of semi-private game but also invite friends, you can host a public game, have it saved locally and invite friends, or you can join another one of your other friends' servers that's also playing Enshrouded. But for now, for all intents and purposes, once again, because this is only gonna be like a sort of guide, walkthrough, and that kind of thing, we're just gonna go with private. And then, as I said, I'm not gonna do a new game because then that's gonna eliminate all the other characters I have running on my personal private server. Okay, let's go.
Long ago, a wanderer brought an enthralling gift to the people of Embervale. The elixir. It was a cure, a blessing, a weapon. Once concealed by the ancients, its might had been set free. With it came power, mistrust, and a longing for more. Humanity dug the elixir wells, ripping apart the land and each other to quench their thirst. Elixir and blood, a drop for a drop. But from the depths of the wells, an unforeseen curse crept into Embervale. The Shroud, a ruinous fog which sought only to spread and devour. Facing their downfall, ancients and humans united to forge the Flameborn. Now, your time has come. Awake.
Awake. Awesome. So we are playing. Okay, so this is crafting and survival RPG/MMO. So this is my new level 1 character. So, and my hotbar for the time being is completely empty. So I can go into my character page and see that all of my slots are empty. So you have two different ring slots to choose from. This one is for your grappling hook, and you get a glider so you can fly around. So for most of my game playthroughs, which you can find my my most recent gameplay of Enshrouded on my Twitch channel, so make sure to go and check that out. But in the next couple of days, once this gets posted onto my YouTube, please make sure to give it some views, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let me know how much you guys enjoyed this guide and walkthrough for Enshrouded. But yeah, you get an extra backpack extension, which will come later in your gameplay as you progress through the story. You can have a shield to minimize your block stamina reduction. So for a long range attack power, you can go with either magic or long range, as in like using bow and arrows. So that's both of those are pretty cool, but I've already got a ranger in the works. He's only level 16 right now, and he's actually kind of already run completely out of arrows, so I'm trying to figure out something else for him so I can actually craft more arrows for him, because it takes the starter arrows use up a lot of twigs, which aren't very hard to find around the map. They're just like bushes, so collecting up bushes will give you fiber, either just fiber or fiber and twigs, but for the most part, grabbing up bushes in and around the map will mostly reward you with fiber. But if you want to go long range sniper with a bow and arrow, you'll want to grab up bushes that only mostly give you twigs. So you have your backpack space. So for now you get a very small backpack inventory space, as well as double hotbars, which you can put weapons or tools into. And then here is your crafting menu, which granted takes you a little bit of time to sort of work your way through and get familiarized with. So all discovered recipes for this crafting station are saved here. You can quickly navigate different categories by selecting these icons. And over here on the right side, you can find the requirements and ingredients for the recipe. And then down below, you can pin recipes to get a notification once you've collected enough ingredients to craft the pinned recipe. So this is what's called your level 1 flame altar. You can place this down either to build your first home or your base in the world, or if you want to like set down an easy sort of spawn point or respawn point near like a mining location or something like that, then feel free to grab up a couple pieces of stone and throw one of these flame altars down, either start your own base or just as a spawn point next to a mining location. Then you have your level 1 workbench, construction hammer, which you can also use to further the necessity needs of your building purposes for your base or your home, this is a very creative tool called your summoning staff. So your summoning staff you can use to, well, as it says, to summon different NPCs, which will help you to craft different things as you progress through the game and the story. So since I've got my other higher level characters to progress fairly quickly through pretty much the end game of the story, I've already gotten and discovered the recipe to craft explosive powder ball nets. So you won't be able to craft these just yet if you're only starting a completely brand new game and you haven't actually played this at all yet, and it's going to be your very first clean playthrough of Enshrouded. So learning to craft the explosive powder ball nets as a recipe will come to you very much later in the game as you progress. So these are your different characters: the alchemist, blacksmith, carpenter, hunter, farmer. So these are all 5 of your crafters. They're very important crafters throughout the game, and they'll allow you to build all of these different pieces of very important equipment, like the workbench, the oven, which comes from your farmer, the grinding stone, which is from your alchemist, the charcoal kiln is going to be made through your blacksmith, fireplace is also made through your farmer, the drying rack can be found and crafted through your hunter, the kiln, which can only be found and crafted through your carpenter. The table saw is also crafted through your carpenter. The smelter can only be made through your blacksmith's inventory as well as the forge. The tanning station can also be made through your hunter. The alchemy station, well, as the name clearly says, can only be made through your alchemist. Seedbed can also be made through your farmer, and the hand spindle, last but not least, can also be made through your hunter. And here is your world map to start you off. So if you're actually, once again, starting a completely new and fresh game and you don't have any other characters running off your own personal private server to familiarize yourself with the game, then this, as the Cinder Vault, will be your only first location starting off. But because I have 4 other characters running on my personal private server, I've actually unlocked a fairly huge portion of beginning half of the map, because this game is still technically in early access. So once you get to your character to a higher level, then you'll get to see a lot more of these areas open up for you in and around the map. So once you actually jump out of your little pod, then you can go towards your favorite open Cinder Vault. And then here is your very first primary respawn point. And then you can stay here for like a couple of days in-game to regen your stamina. this is still showing up as I have all 7 of my flame altars already down in on the map. So, I mean, we can keep playing here again. So, this is the point where you grab the alchemist or the blacksmith as you're adventuring around the map. So it'll actually say another survivor awakened, and this is hopefully by the point when you've actually decided to put down your first base, and it will show you the very first location to put down your base in the safest location to start building. But for me, because I already have all 5 of my crafters, it doesn't really much matter. So it'll say another survivor awakened. How helpful by crafting potions and healing. Then you can wait a couple of seconds before you decide to play again. Have awakened your seek out more survivors slumbering in Springland. Wait a couple of seconds. Hunter is alive. Have she revealed anything about survival in Enshrouded Land? And that's it. So you no longer complain. Then you exit the Cinder Vault here. And you come all the way down the stairs to the next starter point. It says, a vast world awaits you, filled with secrets and peril. Press the start button and navigate to the map to track your discoveries. So this shows Cinder Vault, where we came from, and shows all the other different sort of hidden and covered location in and around the map again. But because I've already completed most of my objectives and already met and discovered all of my crafters, because they're all already sitting in my base, this is gonna be a fairly quick run through and walk through explanation. So these are the lore books, and you can actually get kind of like 10 to maybe 20 XP at a time if you actually stop to read these books and collect the lore. So this is the Alchemist Theories. Year 1, on the flame and its murmurs. Your light engulfs the knowledge of the ancient breed, protects it in a flaming core. Wisdom far beyond my own comprehension. I could stare into the fire for hours, seeking answers. Whisper, hear none. Despite possessing a voice, it speaks to those born from shame. Believe we can right enlightened visions about this. Okay. So you might think this game has absolutely no fall damage, but because I've already gotten regress at such a point in the game that I already know for a fact that the fall damage from way up here can actually kill your character. So I'm not going to do that, but I'm actually letting all of you guys out there know for a fact that the fall damage in this game very much dangerously so can kill them. Alright, so next part. You'll have to come all the way down the path here, and this chest will have the basic necessities for you starting off. A couple of torches and a couple of and my controller batteries finally died on me, so hang on. Back to what I was explaining. I hate it every time. My controller batteries does that to me at the worst time. Okay, so take open this chest. It'll have torch, your first torch, which you can also kind of use as a melee weapon, a level 1 melee weapon, and there's a bandage, but there's also 2 clean bandages here sitting on this almost completely busted up table. And then the red marker will show you that you don't really have to grab the torch from that chest because there's one kind of sitting right here at the entrance to this cave. I mean, I could also kind of defeat the whole and complete purposeful walkthrough and guide for my gameplays of Enshrouded, but I mean, where's the fun in that, right? So we're just gonna keep going through here. So you want to jump down here, and you can take your time, use the ladders to climb down, but I mean, the fall damage from jumping down from there to here doesn't really do anything, so feel free to do that. You can either keep progressing your way through the tunnel here, or you can just push your way through the wooden barricade here. And because this is kind of like Valheim, kind of like Minecraft in a sense, so the whole world is deconstructible and completely malleable, which I also love about the game. So you can pick up things that you actually break down in the game, which is so cool. And you come all the way in here, the chest you can pick open with another collectible torch and some more bandages. But because I already have pretty much everything set up for me at my end game base, pretty much in that higher level end game area of the map, I'm not going to take any of that stuff. And this is the Shroud. This is where the Shroud is. So to know exactly what kind of danger you're walking yourselves into, you'll need to come all the way to where this next torch is lit up. Flame allows you to resist the Shroud. Linger, will perish. Escape the Shroud, replenish your maximum time in the Shroud. You can either take this other next torch that's lit up glowing red here, or you can just keep progressing your way through the Shroud. So if you actually look on your HUD above your screen or above your character, you have a full 8 minutes to actually run and make your way through the Shroud, or you end up dying in the Shroud. You'll have to respawn in the Cinder Vault. You press R if you're using controller, or you your middle scroll mouse button to lock onto your enemies. Then on your controller, or on your mouse and keyboard, you can press tab to dodge out of harm's way. Today I'm just going to bring in the black house all the way. And once you make it out of the shroud, then your shroud timer gives you back that full 8 minutes. So this location over here, this location here will be known as Long Keep. And this is your first beginner location where you can either sort of spruce this place up and make it your first primary fob or your forward operating base and sort of run in and out of this place. And then right here, where this piece of paper is glowing red, will be your next bit of lore. Grab your next plus 10 bit of XP. Ancients and the Flame. Update here. Day 1. Hold the chamber to your last breath. These were the words of Ancient One, or he, with a handful of our best warriors. It was the first time I'd seen one of its kind, and I expect it will be the last. Faces burned in my mind. Light and those of my remaining soldiers pledged a sacred duty. Heartbreak. Yeah, so as you progress through the game and open world, because this game is also open world, there's also things you can grab around here, like string, and then you can break things down for wood, for pieces of wood and metal. So there's a bed here, which is great because you can also use beds in the world to blink through the night if you don't want to wander your way across the map in complete pitch blackness. Is absolutely what I'm going to do. So the other really great thing about that is the blackness doesn't make you to a black sort of cutscene, and you can also collect campfire, which usually gets put into your backpack or your hotbar, but for some odd reason, for me, at this point in the game, it gets turned into the car, which is weird, because, as I already said, you can usually collect that campfire and it goes right into either your backpack or your hotbar. And here you can like collect water, which you can already do back inside the location of Long Keep. So here you can collect these green looking bushes for fiber. And then these color trees, some of them, their leaves will be either orange, green, or yellow, and you can chop them down and they'll give you vast amounts of what's called resin. And resin is one of the many items that you'll also need for, well, I mean, your basic crafting necessities in the game. So if you have a tool, you'll need them for hacking down the trees. While equipped with a shield or melee weapon, press your left bumper block. A well-timed block will parry the attack. Then you can also conveniently tap and hold your right bumper, open up your other item categories. You quickly drink or eat items that are sitting in your hotbar. So these these bushes give you purple berries, which are really good for regenerating your health. You can either, if you're using controller again, you can either hit X on your controller to eat the berries, or again, you can also hit your right bumper and select the berries, eat them, and those will assist you in regenerating your health over a small amount of time. And these are beehives. You hold them down for other more great crafting ingredients like wax and food like honey. So the honey gives you plus 15 stamina recharge. Then as you keep adventuring and progressing throughout the game and the map, so here is your next point where the tutorial keeps showing you. You can harvest and eat berries to replenish your health over time. It will prepare you for the dangers ahead. What I mean by this point, in and around the map, come all the way down here and you can like find stones on the ground to pick up, and there's also these red mushrooms that are really good for either cooking and eating them just as they are, or they can also be used as alchemical as well. And as you make your way into Long Heath, there's the fountain, which you can use to draw a lot more water from. Then this can be your main starter home base. And as you come over all the way down here, they give you more sort of fresh bits of wood to work with. There's bits of food, raw and uncooked food here left for you in the game, and then you can bring them over to campfire just inside the fireplace here and cook them for yourself. As the cooked food doesn't help you regen your health like the purple berries do, but the food in Enshrouded helps to give your character a bit of a boost, which is also very nice. As the tutorial tells you, you can interact with campfires in and around the map, cook food, or sit near them by pressing down on your D-pad on your controller, or X if you're using mouse and keyboard to become rested in the wild. So you can pick up all the raw and cooked food and then bring them over to campfire just there to cook them for yourself. Give yourself a nice, give your character a nice boost. So this is the next bit of in-game lore. General. Sleep, eat, and rest, as the game advises you to do. A good night's rest. Finally, great and tedious work. My bones are sore, but the warmth of a fire, a bit of shelter, and some sleep allow me to become well rested. So that means you do in fact get the well rested perk or bonus in the game. Getting scarce. I hear they're planning an expedition. Thankfully, I hid some rations below my bed for a nice meal when over a fire. But even though you can sort of angle and pan your camera, try and actually look through the bed, and lo and behold, there actually is some cooked food hidden just here for him by his bed. So he was in fact telling the truth. Then there's all these containers here, these wooden containers, they can either punch, kick, or use a weapon or a tool to bust them open and collect the stuff that actually falls out from inside, like the scrap metal here. You can hit Y and collect scrap metal. You can use it to unlock the recipe for crafting lockpicks. Alright, so this is where I'm actually going to end this part of the gameplay walkthrough, because I'd actually like to show you guys my higher level base, where I actually have it at the moment. So I've actually got all 7 of mine. Remember where they actually are. So one of them is here, so that's 1, 2, and then there's another one just below it, as you can see. There's 2, 3, and there's 4, 5, 6, 7. They can either have your flame altars doubled up to keep increasing the build space for your base or your home, but for all intents and purposes, I'm going to actually have base model, which is right here. And so this base is a comfort level of level 18. The higher comfort level you have for your home or your base, the better rested bonus you'll actually receive from being in your base.
Oi!
So if you want to be a sort of stealthy,
Speak quick
sniping
and
archer,
quiet.
you can talk to your hunter, and she'll help you to craft like all kinds of different things, like small, medium to large backpacks, make clean bandages, which will heal you exceptionally fast over time. So those are your dot heals. She'll help you to make all these different arrows, to make the drying rack, canning rack once you find it. Ooh, and I've also unlocked the recipe to make padding. Very cool. So this will show up under your resources section. So all of this stuff will unlock for you over time as you explore different areas of the map to keep progressing to better, higher level areas of the game. And you'll be able to unlock and experience all of these very cool new armor sets. So this is the Scout set, Marksman, Ranger, Sharpshooter, Hunter, Deadeye, Assassin, and Deer Stalker set for left you to craft at the Hunter. And then if you actually do a lot of the boss battles, which you'll find in the dungeons, which you'll come to learn as they're called the elixir wells. So, because I don't want to spoil anything for any of you guys, for all intents and purposes of this gameplay walkthrough and explanation, I'm not going to tell you anything more about the elixir wells, only that those particular bosses that I just showed you
Never
can be
look
found at those particular locations. So, the other crafting items you'll also need are your animal furs, your fur patches, salt, dried fur, which can be made at the canning rack. Then you'll also need scales, which can only be found in higher level areas of the map. And again, because I don't want to spoil anything about exactly where you can find and obtain majority number of scales from, I'm not going to say anything more about it. I'm just going to come over here to where my blacksmith is in his crafting area, where I've actually already put down my crafting bench, my sort of cooking or stove area. This is the charcoal kiln. This is the smelter, which you can also make as you progress in the game over time. So you can place your items from your inventory here to make them available for factory reproduction. Then over here, you can track the production process. Your factory will produce the selected recipe until no ingredients are left, or your factory inventory becomes completely full. You can switch between different recipes that you've unlocked for this factory here. So for me, because I've already unlocked most of the crafting recipes, I can use charcoal, which can be made from your charcoal kiln, of course. And then in the smelter, you can make different bars. So you can use different bars, like your tin bars and copper bars, smelt bronze bars. Or if you have copper ore, you can solely use the copper ore that you can mine in and around the map, easily found, and you can craft copper bars. Or you can just bunch them together. So, as it shows this crafting menu, you can throw together copper, tin, and so copper bars and tin bars together with charcoal make bronze bars. Then in your charcoal kiln, you'll be able to throw charcoal, wood logs, and dirt together. Or no, sorry. You can throw wood logs, 17 wood logs, and dirt together to create charcoal. But that's not the only thing that you can make from your charcoal kiln once you actually obtain your blacksmith and get to a higher level point in the game where you can actually unlock the different recipes for crafting wood acid and tar. So you can scroll through and see exactly how much of each ingredient item that recipes actually call for. For the charcoal, you need 17 wood logs, 3 pieces of dirt, but I already have every single thing going for me in high level area base here. Then for wood acid, you'll need 15 wood logs and 3 pieces of dirt, or mine way more dirt for yourself to work on these recipes. Then for tar, you'll need 30 wood logs, 6 pieces of dirt, or chunks. So for me, I don't need any of that stuff because I've been doing a lot of grinding on my account, so I've already got a lot of stuff already accumulated from here in the base. So I already got a lot of wood, a lot of dirt, and other necessities. I can just throw these things in here. I have wax and honey. I got that stuff sitting way over here where a farmer used to be. Okay, this was where all of my forest beets are with my flour. This is all of my, most of my raw, cooked food. Yeah. You'll find out how to collect a lot of the raw food in and around the map. Not gonna else about it. For all intents and purposes of me not wanting to spoil this. But yeah, you can find a lot of these different foods, and you'll need to store them up so you can actually cook them for your character and give your character that really nice, awesome boost. So I've also collected a lot of different weapons and armor in the game because I've done a lot of grinding as I've been leveling on my other characters. I just got my my mage, my high level mage to level 22 finally, and I also got my high level sword and board melee character to hit level 20. So I'm trying to work on um, getting my other melee characters to hit level 20 as well, but it's slow going at the moment. So these are the different weapons and shields that you can actually get to drop as you're playing and progressing through the different higher level tier areas of the map. So there's the levels. So I have the level 16 Metal Star Mace, which you can get to drop for you at lower levels. This is another mace. I think this one is two-handed. I think it might be two-handed, but I can't remember. It's called the Wolf's Hydra. It drops at level 18 for your character. Once you actually make it over to the plains or the desert biome of the map, and you'll actually need to defeat and kill off a whole clan of enemies called the Buka to grab this out of gold, possibly legendary chest. But again, not spoil anything for you guys. I'm not gonna say anything more about legendary chests or where you can find them, but these are all the kind of different leveled weapons that you can actually discover and find or obtain for yourself at much higher levels. So if anyone wants to have some fun and come join me on my world, I can open up and start hosting a public game or a server with password. Just let me know and I will send you the password either through Discord or through my Steam account. You can find me that way. You can find and join me that way. For me, it's actually... yeah, I do. Okay. Go. Aha! Back there. This one has leftover forest beets. But this still has a lot of my raw beets. But it has all of my collected bell peppers and strawberries, which can only be found again in biggest higher level parts of the map.
Hey!
Is over here by my alchemy. This is where I stored all of my majority of my iron and wax. So you'll get to craft better sets of armor in the game. So once you actually obtain your blacksmith for the first time,
Where there's fire, there's hope.
and go into his crafting menu, and then you can take your time and sort of scroll down, look at the different items you're gonna be able to craft for your character. You can make nails, keep building your home or your forward operating base, and then come down to the survival options menu, and you get your different tools. And so they're not at all labeled as weapons, but I mean, if your early in-game weapons actually break on you and you don't have a crafting table to put down yet, because you don't have the necessary resources to craft and put down your crafting table, then I guess in a pinch you can use your building and crafting tools as kind of potential weapons, because they actually do allow you to dole out a fairly good amount of damage. So your scrappy axe allows you to deal 17 damage, your copper axe 25, and then your bronze axe allows you to deal the most damage with this one, 32 damage. That's only physical damage. And the same thing with your different higher level or higher tiered pickaxes. And you can also do farming in this game as well. So they give you a scrappy rake, then you can use metal scraps to craft yourself lockpicks, but I mean, you really, well and truly, honestly, don't have to, because you can also break open different wooden or metal containers and find lockpicks to actually pick up in and around the world map. So if you really truly want to save time on crafting lockpicks, you really don't have to craft lockpicks. You can just find them everywhere. But you'll need a lot of your in-game friends to like sort of help protect you as you run around looking for and trying to find lockpicks instead of spending your good accumulated in-game time to run around and you can make miscellaneous items later in the game once you get your other items necessary for forging these items, like the blacksmith smelter and his forge. Now, what enable you to craft bronze bars and charcoal, which will allow you to, in turn, craft cool-looking bronze barrels. And they don't really do much; they're just very colorful and decorative objects to sort of give your house or your home base a little bit more ambiance. And then the game goes even harder into the whole sort of designing your home or your base, and then you can craft all these sort of harder housing items like dishes, and then you can also put down fences if you want to do a whole crap ton of farming. And you also get what's called a grappling hook in this game, which is a very fun time. You can zip around the map quite fast actually able to get the crafting ingredients together and craft your grappling hook fairly quick enough, then you can put down a grappling hook pull anchor or a grappling hook swing anchor. Then you can use your grappling hook to quickly zip yourself from one end of the map to the other. Yeah.
Is that it?
You can talk to all of your different crafters, and they'll give you all of your different necessary low-level starter quests. For example, the first big boss battle quest you'll get is clearing the elixir. The elixir well is an overgrown pit, spitting corruption and fumes into the air from below. Enter the elixir well to find the root of this evil, eradicate it. Then there's growing stronger together, which means the game is prompting you to go and find your farmer. And then the blacksmith needs a shop, so you'll need to build or craft him either sort of singular area or a completely different home for him to just sit inside of. Then a whole other menu of craftable items will open up for you, and then the other sort of story quest will also open up, such as the story of fire, story of rot, and then everything else is gonna be the higher tier or higher level side of the map quests for your character to try and work on. But yeah, these are all of the other beginner quests that the game will also have you do, but for me, these no longer show up because of the fact that I've already done them, and the game awesomely recognizes that fact. Yeah. That's pretty much it for me for now. So thank you all so very much for tuning in and giving my my starter or beginner gameplay and walkthrough for Enshrouded, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of content, and I will see you all in the next one. Make sure to go and check this out on my full gameplay and experience for Enshrouded on my Twitch channel. Otherwise, make sure to also check this upload out on my personal YouTube channel, as well as my other uploaded content for different gameplays in the coming days. And I will see all of you lovely, awesome people in the next one, guys. Take it easy, everyone. Stay spicy.